Hi, one SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. You know, he's Mike Brenner. This is the MLB Odds Couple show for Friday, July 29th. We had some technical issues earlier in the day, so we already did this show with Google Hangout. Now we're doing a reshoot of it for YouTube, and so our picks are already in.
Can I do a reshoot from All-Star break on, Pete?
Yeah, that was a good one, Mike Brenner. Look, as long as you got a couple jokes, that's, you know.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's better than having a bad record with no jokes,
no,
right?
There you go. What
so
are you
let's throw the record up. So people can see what we're referring to. It's not good. Not good.
But hey, you know what though?
Hey, you know what?
It's all right, buddy.
Well,
it's
you're
all
definitely
right.
gearing up for college football, though,
There's
right?
no doubt. I've been digging deep into conference plays and get my strategies ready, but making no excuses. But I'm going to get up and just take it one day at a time. Try to get back a little bit today, Pistol Pete.
All right, sounds good. Well, the first, so our picks are already in. We already gave our picks. We're just going to reiterate what those are and why we like them. There's an early game, Seattle and the Cubs. Cubs a big favorite. You took the Cubs on the run line at plus 123, and we a couple of our losers in the past couple of days have been on the Cubs. We took them on against the White Sox. I liked our reasons then, but you're willing to go back to the well here, try and get a win with the Cubs over Seattle, right, Mike Brenner?
Yeah, I am, and I know Iwakuma has been almost untouchable the last 3 games, but I just think Wrigley Field, that atmosphere today, Chris Bryant, I look for the boys to crank it up.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then the next game, Baltimore-Toronto, I did wind up taking the first half under 5 minus 119. It was a borderline play for me, but we all know what's been happening with Baltimore and their unders recently. And I actually, one thing that I am pretty good at is totals at home with Toronto. Because they have a big lineup and they play in a hitter-friendly park, people tend to lean towards overs with them. But I'm not entirely sure what the record, but they're very 50-50. Their games can be very low scoring at home. This one, it seems a little bit too obvious. Both starters have been good, right?
Yes.
So, maybe, expect the unexpected, expect one of them to get hit. That wouldn't shock me. But I took the first 5 innings under 5 minus 119. Both starters have been good, and Estrada was good in his return from the
I like that, Pete. And you know what? Toronto's been so inconsistent with their bats. I think that just plays right into the formula there. I think you're going to be safe.
Gossman's been good. Hopefully both these guys can hold their form, and then I think the first half under is a decent bet. Yanks and Tampa Bay, we passed on that one.
Yeah, had to.
Yeah, I would lean under there, though, because, Odorizzi and Nova, both guys who can be good, can be a little bit shaky, but both these lineups are a little bit uninspiring. And when that's a situation, Tampa Bay is a ballpark that I like to go under on. So I actually did bet the under 8 minus 125 on the overnight. I didn't give it as a pick, but that's definitely a lean for me.
Sure. And there's some players on Tampa Bay that are going to be on stage, because there's a couple teams looking at a few of those players. So who knows with that one, Pistol.
Then the next game going down the list, Oakland at Cleveland.
Yeah.
I bet Oakland on the first 5 innings at plus 150, and that was a borderline play for me. And then in our Google Hangout, somehow it happened. You and Jordan somehow pressured me into.
No, we did. Jordan, you hear that, big man? Yeah.
You didn't pressure me into it. You just said you have some balls, and you're right. I should have some balls.
Pull that trigger,
I did give it. I bet it. Oakland plus 150. Oakland's been really winning.
Pete, they just won 4 straight series. I haven't done that in 2 years. So Billy Beanball is back right now. They're playing good. They believe in each other, and hell, they're talking about having a shot at making a run for the playoffs.
And Graveman, he hasn't been lights out, but he has been consistently pretty good.
Serviceable.
So if this was plus 120 or 125, I wouldn't take it. But at plus 150. I took it. I had to do it. All right. Next game, Colorado at the Mets. I gave Colorado on the second half minus 109. Mets is probably his last start he looked recovered from his arm issues, but I don't think he's going to go deep here, and I'm definitely happy to fade the Mets. Cespedes out.
I was going to say they're all banged up.
A lot of guys out. And Colorado's definitely been getting it done, and there's a good vibe with that team.
There is.
So I'd love to take him as a big dog on the game, but because of how good Mats was in his last start, just took him on the second half.
But I don't know how deep Mats is going to go either. Right. I heard they're going to be watching his numbers, his innings. So
next game, St. Louis, Miami, we passed. Houston, Detroit, we passed. Philly, Atlanta, we passed. KC, Texas, we passed. Correct.
Yeah.
Then the White Sox, Minnesota. I took this one. I took the White Sox on the first 5 innings minus 125.
Is that Quintana on the mound?
Yes, Quintana against Nolasco. Now, Nolasco's a guy who is generally pretty vulnerable. Quintana can be vulnerable as well, but less so. Nolasco, when you expect him to get pounded, sometimes has a surprisingly good start.
Sure.
That's why I took the first 5 innings here, because if that does happen, maybe you'll get a slightly better start from Quintana, and White Sox will catch the first 5.
Could be. I kind of like that. And Nolasco's kind of found his home, though, there in Minnesota, but he's just too inconsistent. I used to fade him all the time, Pete, but he's not that same guy. But
So it's again, if it was a high line, I'd shy away from it.
Sure,
But minus
sure.
125,
Yeah.
I bet that one, and I
And
gave
if
it
it loses,
in this
you'd
show.
be all right with
yes,
that.
absolutely. Then the next one, Pittsburgh at Milwaukee. Very interesting. This youngster Brault is making his second major league start. Another one of these highly touted starting pitchers for Pittsburgh, going up against Guerra, who's been great for Milwaukee. I gave a pick on Pittsburgh second half minus 130 here. I think that the first 5 innings, probably be very tight. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes under. And both these guys have strong 6-inning starts. But I think that I like Pittsburgh to take it away to the class to show in the second half. I took the second half minus 130.
Yeah, I like that. Pittsburgh's playing pretty good. And I don't know what's going on with LaCroix. They pulled him out of the lineup yesterday before the game started. I thought maybe he was going to get traded, but I didn't hear anything. Haven't heard today. I tried to get an update, and he's questionable. So I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, I like Pittsburgh in general. Although strangely, Pittsburgh has a long-term history of doing terribly at Milwaukee. But
I know. I saw that too.
I'm willing to ignore that. For these
different teams.
Next game is the official no-brainer game of the card.
There
Mike
it is.
Brenner, it's Boston at the Angels, and it's a no-brainer play of the card. And both Mike Brenner and I bit on the no-brainer side. It's Lincecum against Porcello. We both faded Weaver, I believe.
Yeah.
Or no, I took the over, and that one lost. Boston couldn't hit Weaver, but Lincecum is struggling significantly more than Weaver has been struggling. And
I think it's mental now. Not only is it his mechanics. I took the first half run line.
Yes.
I think they're going to jump all over him. I see him out of the game.
You took the first half run line minus 115. I took the first half money line minus 165. I think Porcello he got hit in his last start, but he's been obviously great all year long.
Sure.
I think he is in line for a bounce back here. Whether he bounces back or
he's
not,
going for win number 14.
Have to assume they'll be able to hit Lincecum,
I believe so. There's no doubt. I think you and Dennis could hit Lincecum today.
Worth a
with
shot.
all due respect.
Well, sure. I mean,
Jordan will be the big man coming in with the grand slam behind us.
He's only throwing in the 80s. Have you ever been to a batting cage and tried to hit an 80-mile-an-hour fastball? It can be done. It can be done
because 80 miles isn't a fastball.
Exactly. The jump from 80 to low 90s is huge.
Yes,
in
it
terms
is.
of time.
No, you're right.
All right, and then Arizona Dodgers. This is one of your picks, Mike Brenner. Why don't you take it away?
I like it. I like Maeda, and you've had a good feel for him. I just think Arizona's mailed it in. Full game run line minus 110. Dodgers are right there in the thick of things, and I think they're going to turn it on today. They're looking to just keep it going. So I love it.
If the form holds, if Maeda has a good start and Godley gets crushed as expected, then that one should cash. And then Washington, San Francisco. You had 2 plays on that one. Why don't you take it away?
I like the full game money line. I grabbed it because of you, the line shopper, earlier. It was minus 135, and I took them on the team total, Pistol Pete, over 4 minus 101.
That was a pinnacle line at the time.
Yeah, and I like it. I just think it's got to get done. Again, I know I'm getting beat up and battered in my record, but you know what? I'm going down swinging. I am. I'm going down swinging.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. All right, let's go to Jordan Sharp, who gave us a bunch of interesting analysis on some possible prop plays with value earlier in our Google Hangout call. And actually, anyone who watched that already knows what he's going to say because Jordan's audio was reportedly excellent in the Google Hangout call. Jordan Sharp, thanks for being back with us. Tell us again what you recommended to us earlier in the day.
My audio is excellent. I do not, though, think I could hit Tim Lincecum. I'll leave that to you.
Come on, baby.
Something tells me he'd probably still strike me out, but the professionals, nonetheless, we'll save it. We'll save it for them tonight. But tonight, for me, speaking of professional, while you guys are stumbling, I'm 10-5 since right before the All-Star break.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
so
that's fantastic.
Plus about 4.4 units, somewhere around there. I got to calculate.
Oh, very nice.
Glad to hear.
One streak on Wednesday, but
look at that. When he wins, he gloats. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Go for it. Go for it. You earned it.
You guys crushed me in the NBA this year, and I'm sure the same's going to happen with Big Mike in college football in the NFL. So I have to get my shots in.
There you go.
No, go ahead.
Hey,
go ahead.
It's all love, baby. We're on the same team.
What would you recommend that we look at for props today, Jordan?
So tonight, you guys touched on it. Stephen Brault, young lefty, making his second major league start. It's a kid I've had a chance to see about 4 times this season already, being in AAA here in Indianapolis. And the kid's got strikeout material.
Yes.
And the Milwaukee Brewers strike out a lot against left-handed pitchers. They have almost a 25% strikeout rate as a team as against left-handers this season. That is the highest mark of any major league team against lefties. If LaCroix gets pulled out of the lineup tonight, it might get even worse. So you're thinking that you're potentially looking, I think, at maybe going 5 innings tonight. I think you can have 5, 6 strikeouts. His over/under at 4.5 maybe. It would be a very, very good overplay. We'll see what it comes out to. The 2 hitters tonight I have to take a look at. Jose Abreu and my favorite baseball name, O-double Herrera. O-double Cottrell Jenkins has a great chance of going over 2.5 hits tonight. All 11 of his home runs have come off righties this season. And Jose Abreu, I think, is going to crush Ricky Nolasco. I know you guys said that sometimes he pulls out a good start. I don't think it's going to happen tonight against the White Sox. And Abreu has absolutely been very, very good. Kind of a reverse splits guy, being better against right-handers as a right-handed hitter. He's hitting about 289 against righties this year, and he's hitting .357 in his last 8 games. I think he gets over 2.5 hits tonight as well against Ricky Nolasco.
All right, I hope
and he's overdue too, because he's only got 11 home runs this year. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. He's really due to just start cranking it up. So you might be onto something there tonight.
Okay, well, is that it, Jordan? Is that all you have for us?
I was just going to say, I was going to just respond to Mike. Yeah, I mean, I think Abreu, you looked at him, he was having a really down year around April and May, and he's really turned it on here in June and July. But the power not yet to be there, so maybe not to hit a home run tonight. But he is due. I think he is starting to heat up though this month. Though you really see it from him, and I think that he's kind of the key to that White Sox offense. If they want to make a run at it here in the second half.
Sportsbet Weekend Preview Edition. It is the Season 1 finale of Sportsbet. You cannot miss this show. Every single lean that we had for NFL season wins. Orioles now, 16-0 to the under? Check it out right now.
Okay, sounds good. That's our MLB Odds Couple show for Friday, July 29th. We're going to be back later today with a preview of the overnight lines for tomorrow's card, the Saturday card. Mike Brenner, it's possible that if you win 2 units a day for all of August, you'll be out of the abyss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Pistol Pete, I'm not giving up. I'm not quitting,
Never
my
give
man.
up.
Hell
Never
no.
give up. We'll be back very soon.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.